What's up, everybody? So today we are reacting to Demolition Ranch, the future of room breaching. Now, I have been told to react to this channel for quite some time. I get links to it all the time, but this particular video really piqued my interest because I'm really interested in room clearing and CQB or CQC, whatever you call it, close quarter battle or close quarter combat. So I'm very interested to see what technology has on the future of room breaching and how it could actually help clearing rooms and saving lives, basically. But before we get started, as per usual, I want to give a huge shout out to my members. Thank you for supporting the channel. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be making videos every day, so I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, if you want to join and be a member, there's a join button down below next to the subscribe button. And also, don't forget, if you are a member, there is now a schedule on Discord to be able to have a bit of a chat with me and to also play some video games with me. And also on Fridays, for non-members, there is also a time slot in there where we do a bit of a Q&A on Discord. So link down below to join Discord. Links down there for Instagram, Twitter, website, merch, my Twitch where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and my second channel, Original Human Geek. I will also put a link to this original video for Demolition Ranch, so please go and send them some love because this channel is awesome. I really do like this channel. I've seen a few of their videos already, and they are really fun. Also, little cheeky announcement before we get started. I'm starting a podcast. It's going to be a video podcast on this channel, but also the audio will be uploaded to all the platforms that you expect it to be uploaded to, iTunes, Spotify, and all that lot. It is called The Tactical Chinwag. It's going to be interviews. It's going to be stories with me about my time in the military, and I'm hoping to get some really cool people on to do interviews with, and a bunch of other different cool things. So definitely look out for that. It will be starting a week from today, Thursday the 5th of August. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. Turn on notifications on this YouTube channel and you will see when that goes live. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to pull up the display. So I've kind of trimmed a little bit. I've kind of pushed through the video a little bit because there's a bit of fluff at the start where he's messing about and does a bit of a sponsor and stuff, which is fine, but I just want to get to the nitty gritty and see what this technology has. So I'm going to shut up now. Let's play this video.
Be all in one video for your viewing pleasure. Speaking of your viewing pleasure, you're gonna like what we have today. This is the Carbon Guardian viewing system. It's a remote viewing system. So this looks like a helmet with like nods with night vision on it.
That looks like a VR, actually.
It is not. You can see there's no sensors on the front of this. You cannot see through this. It looks pretty sweet though. That's because there's a screen in here. So in there are two little eye holes, two little screens.
Did I just see a tactical
in there
magazine?
Two little.
Hey, there it is. Nice. Yeah, so I have a feeling I know what this is. I'm guessing there's a camera on the weapon and you can see through the goggles or through the kind of VR headset through that camera. Let's see what
little screens that sync up to this camera, which is looking straight down your sight. So this thing has a receiver over here on the back of the buttstock. So
it looks like there's a lot of, this is still early technology because look, this looks here, this butt looks 3D printed. As you can see by the lines, a lot of this looks 3D printed. Plus a lot of these wires are exposed, so I'm sure they could clean that up a little bit, and it's just them trial and error. I'm more interested in the fact that the camera's actually looking down the scope, because I've seen something similar to this before where the camera's just looking where the rifle is. But looking down the scope is a lot better.
That is all hooked up, and it all feeds from this camera back here and transmits back to your eyes. The benefit there is you don't necessarily have to have your head on the gun, your eyes looking down sight to see where this gun is firing.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? Well, it's so you can shoot around corners. It's so when you're clearing rooms, your head doesn't have to go into the room first. Your hand can go in, make sure the room is clear, and then you can go in. Or if you want to look down a hallway, you don't have to stick your head down there to see if anyone's aiming down that hallway. You just stick your gun down there. If there's someone down there, the only thing at risk is your hand and the firearm, not your face.
So I do have, there is a lot of pros and cons to this, and what I'll do is I'll go over this as he's using it. I've already seen something similar in like a futuristic weapon video about stuff like this, but I'll let it play through and I'll pause it on certain aspects where I think this will hinder the actual room clearing, or this will be a benefit to the room clearing.
So it hooks to a regular helmet just like night vision would. Silent
That thing looks heavy.
operation, just pull it down, and now
Also, it looks like it's out of Halo, doesn't it, really?
now I can see nothing except what the gun sees. So this camera feeds through this magnifier through this EOTech. So We're just gonna go straight to the EOTech. Now I am aiming down sights, but I, as you can see, can pull this thing away from me and turn it around a corner. So let's say I'm hiding behind cover and I want to see around that way. Normally, you'd have to come around like this, exposing your hands, your gun, and your head. With this system, I can simply come around the corner like this.
All right, so I'm going to pause it here because I think this is a great example. Your fire position is nowhere near going to be as stable or as accurate like that. I think at this point, this type of technology is best just for viewing purposes and not actually shooting purposes. Obviously, you could get the rounds down like that and kind of put suppressive fire down, but it isn't necessarily going to be the most accurate thing or the most, I would say, practical thing, because at the end of the day, when you're clearing rooms, you need to be extremely aware of everything around you. And as of right now, he is only looking down the weapon. It's very important that you can quickly look to your left, quickly look to your right, see what's going on. You know, have your friend say, hey, you know, target indication, look at that over there. So it does hinder your viewing around you. Obviously, you can see inside buildings real quick, but my thing is, like, you know, what happens if you drop the weapon? What happens, you know, there's so many different things that could go wrong with it, but it also does have a huge benefit to not putting yourself and doing a little bit of a cheeky peek and getting your headshot.
Making sure everything is clear without putting my head out there. Pop, 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 pop. Come over the top. Oh, just shot that guy in the crotch. Also, I need to say, this is the beta model. There are no more in existence except for this one.
So while this has got a really cool shot right here, and it's obvious that it is a beta model. It is kind of like early production. A lot of wires, a lot of components. And one thing that's really important about a weapon is the durability. You don't want it to break. This is why AKs are so good, is the durability. I've seen them being run over by tanks and still be able to shoot. So, you know, this is not going to be as durable as a regular weapon without the technology on it. So, you know, if one of them little wires just comes loose, you've got a bricked kind of headset there, aren't you? So, you know, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, but if this is just a beta, it means that they're obviously testing this extensively, especially with things like the recoil of the weapon. Eventually, after a certain amount of rounds, is that going to kind of, like, you know, slowly loosen certain things on that board right there? And it looks like it's got a fan on there and all the wires. Interesting.
We're not selling them yet. This is just totally for testing purposes only. This was 3D printed. They're going to clean everything up before they actually bring this to market. So we have it today as a first look just for testing. Let's go ahead and do some of that. We're going to go ahead, throw one in here, and pop some targets. Let's pretend that's a bad guy over there. He's shooting at me. I'm down here behind the cover of the barrel, so completely protected. Assuming this was, you know, like not a really thin plastic barrel. This thing's made of concrete.
Yeah.
And I'm hiding from a bad guy down here. Don't want to pop.
You just say that. I'm glad he said that, because the amount of, like, video games and stuff where they hide behind, like, a really thin barrel and then they've got cover. It's ridiculous.
My head out there because he's waiting to shoot me. So I pop my gun out. Got him. He's dead. You know what?
So I guess he has got, he can get pretty accurate with that right there. So I may be wrong, especially if you kind of push your arm up. If you push your forearm right up against that cover, and really, like, kind of force yourself to be still, you could probably get some really good accuracy on it. But again, this is something that you would have to really practice with, I feel like, and there's certain kind of positions you would have to be, because at the end of the day, the butt of the weapon's not in your shoulder, and that's like one of the biggest points of contact for stability. So, you know, you got to kind of think the amount of practice you're going to need for something like this would be pretty damn high.
Let's go for some smaller targets over here.
Ooh.
Turn my magnifier up, and I'll start these guys over here. They're not at all.
There you go. So again, he's kind of doing the whole, like, you know, you're not doing a proper fire position there where you're breathing and you're taking a shot. You're basically popping shots. But at the end of the day, if you're in this kind of situation where you're just trying to look into a room, you're not going to be sat there for a while getting in a decent fire position, are you? You're going to want to just get the rounds down. So, you know, I can kind of see that, you know, it's probably just as good as, really. Come on, lad, you get it, you got it.
Pretty sure I'm going right right through these things.
Yeah, he probably is.
Could not figure out why I was missing. And then I watched the video and I was like, I'm missing by like 6 feet. It's because I was hitting the barrel. My scope was looking past this, so I couldn't see this, but the way I had the gun tilted at an angle, the barrel of the gun was hitting the barrel of this. So my bullets were...
So that's another thing as well. Like there's certain aspects of looking down the rifle that you can see the rifle a bit better. That's another thing that's going to hinder when it comes to these little cameras. My big thing would be, can they put different cameras on it? Could they put a camera that is actually on the headset looking around you, and then a camera that's looking down the rifle so that you can see your surroundings as well as looking down the barrel? That would be cool.
For passing through this first, so they're going pshoo, and then hitting like just all around my targets, not in my targets. So that's just a learning curve on this thing. I need to like think about where my actual gun barrel is and not hold it at a weird angle when I'm going around a corner, or I was just blasting the cover and not the target.
We're gonna do it again now.
I just want to pause it there, and I'll come back to this right here. But notice when he's talking here about his shooting, he's covered in sweat, right? And I know that doesn't really seem like much. He's out there on the ground, he's shooting, he's got this massive headset on. How sweat-proof is this headset? How sweat-proof are all these cables and their connections? Because at the end of the day, when you are like, going on a long yomp, as we call it, or a walk with all the gear on, and then you're going into a gunfight, you are drenched in sweat already. So is that going to hinder? Is that going to break this headset? That's another big question I would have.
I know what's happening. Okay, let's try zooming in on those targets. All right, keeping my barrel clear.
It's still kind of popped around the corner a bit there, and you can see he's trying to get into a better fire position. So at the end of the day, he's already pretty much round the barrel here. You could probably ping his head if you were stood over there. So, I don't know. Ping, ping, hey up, ping. Yeah, you can get him.
Way easier. I killed the bad guys. I'm totally safe. Guys, we've had this red fox that looks cute because he's got white little feet, but he's been terrorizing my family. He's been killing my chickens. He has rabies. He stole $50 from me the other day. He has to die. The problem is he's real skittish. Whenever he sees me coming up with a gun,
yeah, I bet.
So I'm going to use the Carbon Guardian system to sneak up and fire over him where he can't see.
So this is the thief of a fox that steals $50.
All right. This is it, guys.
His head's, look at where his head is. His head's already over there. Even if it's just a helmet, his head's still out there. I don't know how much I trust this type of equipment.
There he is, sneaking around my chicken coop. Fox down! My family can sleep safe and sound tonight.
Also, I really like this t-shirt, this Golden AK. So my question is it not just worth having some sort of camera system to look around corners rather than the weapon with the camera system and everything attached to your head? Like, can you not have something that just quickly is like a switch that you can, like, maybe you can see through them, and then you click a switch and then you can see through the weapon through a screen? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a lot of technology and a lot of bulk, and it isn't necessarily what it, right. Well, this rendition, should I say, because it's obviously going to get improved a dramatic amount if this is a beta, but is it really worth it? That's my question. Is it really worth it?
New day, new mission, guys. We have intel that says there has been a terrorist leader who's been living here at the Demo Ranch HQ. I think he might be in this porta potty. The problem is he is armed and dangerous, so we don't want to take any chances at all.
You notice how, I don't know whether that's just because he was talking to the camera, but when he was moving, he had to pull that off. Think about that. Think about every time you have to move room to room, you have to pull them off. And as you're getting up to a doorway, put them back on. Taking your hand off the weapon and getting them up there, that's a couple of seconds where someone can pop out that doorway and ping you. Like, and you've got to be on, like, when you're clearing rooms, you have to be incredibly aware of your surroundings, and every second counts. So that little second of taking your hand off the trigger, pulling it down, or at least off the barrel and putting it down, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Clear.
Oh.
Yep, clear. Smells terrible though. He's definitely been here recently.
Could be in that dumpster.
So he's literally just showing the different things, like different ways to cover. You know,
Nothing.
to cover your surroundings
All
and look
clear.
through the camera.
All clear. Okay.
It's cool.
There he is. Bad guy down. You ever need to take out bad guys, but you're just really sleepy? It's the worst. So what I do is I use this system so I can relax and take out bad guys all at the same time.
You know, being in a vehicle and doing that is actually a really good way of doing it. Really good,
So
really good
pumping.
technology.
Oh, there's a bad guy. Down. There's another
You
bad
see how much of how much the weapon moved because he hasn't got good contact on it.
guy.
Look
Down.
at that.
Ow, that hot brass though. That felt really good.
Yeah, I bet.
There's another bad
How many times? Anyone who's in the military or was in the military, how many times have you been burnt by hot brass?
guy right there. Went ahead and took him down too. It's just nice to be able to relax and do good work all at the same time. And that is the Carbon Guardian remote viewing system. So obviously
Okay.
all of these things are exposed in an
Yeah.
actual product that would be sold to the public or militaries. It has to all be cleaned up and tough and not exposed like this. This is just a prototype. They are working on it. This is the only one in existence, but super cool to play with and super easy to use. So what would you guys like to see us do with this in the future? We're hoping we can get a version 2 out here too whenever it's out. And what would you guys do with a remote viewing system on an AR? There's a lot of cool applications for this. What would you guys like to see on Demo Ranch? Overall, a pretty weird feeling to be able to shoot down sights when you're not
So, I mean, I think he's just chatting about. In fact, let me finish it first. Let me finish
actually
it first.
looking down the sights with your eyeball, but also felt kind of awesome. If you also want to be kind of awesome, we have these shirts. Nothing is more extra than a gold AK-47, and if you would like to join the Demolition today, there's a link in the description. Yours will come with
It's really cool.
less sweat than this. Still some
I want the sweat though. Okay. All right. So I have a few kind of like, thoughts, and again, I've kind of gone over most of them while watching the video. First and foremost, this is the very start of a technology that could be very well implemented into the military and could be used incredibly well. I just think that it's the very start. It's the first rendition, so there's a lot of kinks that need to be ironed out. I think it's too bulky, the headset right now, and I think that could be toned down a little bit. I think obviously he said it himself, all the wires are exposed and stuff. I think even when it's in the butt and it's nice and secure, how secure are them is that technology in there? Because at the end of the day, wires can come loose if you shoot 100 rounds in quick succession, and like changing mags, 100 rounds, whatever. Wires could come loose. They could wobble and come loose. So how secure is that? They need to make sure that is really secure. And secondly, it's that time to pull a headset down and pull it back up again that I'm kind of more thinking about. And then also is the practice you would need to be able to learn fire positions when looking around corners so that you can be as accurate as possible. Which, I mean, in the end of the day, if you train on it for a long period of time, you're probably going to get in them fire positions pretty quick. But again, you don't have your shoulder in the butt of the weapons, which means one of the biggest points of contact for you and stability on that weapon is lost. So you need to kind of come up with a different way on how to do that. Overall, I'm impressed with the technology. I feel like it could go somewhere and really could help the military. But it's still got a long way to go. And I am very interested in seeing what comes of this company. And maybe we'll keep a kind of a tab on this and check out what they bring in the future, because I would be very interested to see how this model changes through future models. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. As you know, I want to give a thanks to all my members. You're amazing. I love you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Links down below to all the usual stuff: Instagram, Discord, Twitter, website, merch, Twitch, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and my second channel, Original Human Geek. Also, the link to this video. Go and send them some love. They're amazing. The channel's fantastic. Go and share the love. It's really, really important. And also, don't forget, week today, the start of Tactical Chinwag definitely turn on notifications so you know when that pops up. All right, have a lovely day, everyone. Take it easy. Goodbye.